Welcome. I am Kurt Roskoff, and I welcome you to the table, to our feast. We're bringing you history that unites. I happen to be from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, folks, and as we get going here, you're going to connect. Why I brought up Wisconsin, I might have to speak to it again, but you'll get hints as we bring in the creator and the collaborator and the storyteller Roger Persaud here. How are you doing, Roger, today?
Fantastic, Kurt. I'm doing great. It's great to see you, my brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. It's great to be united with you and our audience out there, all of our spectators, listeners, viewers, and fan base, as this thing is a growing element. And, I understand you have a lot of food for thought today and thought for food. So I'm trying to give some teases and some allusions to the direction we may be going. But I think everybody out there, I think you're going to love. What Roger has to share today, elements of history, and we're going to tie it all back together in terms of what it has to do with this mantra of history that unites. So Roger, what thoughts you want to start with, and then let's get into the story. You gave me a little review in the green room, what you're bringing. So I'm excited to listen to you tell this now because it's you know quite a reveal you gave me before we started. So take it away, Roger. What do you got?
Thanks, Kurt. Well, we just passed Labor Day, so the summer has officially begun. And one of the things that I look forward to in the summer is summer barbecues. We have a great time. It's a great time for family to connect. And that's what History is Unites is about. It's connecting people. But one of the popular foods that we enjoy in our summer barbecues, and I know in my family, some of the ladies compete to who makes the better mac and cheese. We literally have mac and cheese wars that have been going on for decades. And I want to introduce something to you that is historic and actually shows you where mac and cheese came from. Now I'm going to delve right into the story if you don't mind, Kurt.
Not at all. Like I said, I'm eager to hear. You gave me a little excerpt, but I want to hear the whole thing. You bet.
One of our presidents, one of our great presidents, Thomas Jefferson, he's famous. And one of the things known about him is he had a concubine, a person that he owned, who fathered six kids or was the mother of six of his children. And that lady is Sally Hemings. And we're not going to delve into too much of that and about that relationship, but we know that's a fact. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Sally Hemings had a half brother. You see, there was a man who fathered these sort of mixed kids, mulatto kids, and then sold them into slavery. And Jefferson bought them. And he bought Sally, and Sally had an older brother named James. James Hemming joined the Jefferson family at Monticello and he was 8 years old when he joined the family as a slave. And he worked in the kitchen. And the guy must have been good because pretty soon he was cooking for the Jefferson family. And what is interesting is when Jefferson left for France, and he was in France for a number of years, he took James Hemmings with him. And James went over there, and there was no slavery in France, so he was a free man. He studied French cuisine, became a chef, and learned all the techniques of French cooking. Now, he was a free man working as a chef and being paid in France. But he was so connected to Thomas Jefferson that when Jefferson decided he was going back to the States and he told James Hemming that he is going to be president, James Hemming decided to go back to the United States with Thomas Jefferson, even though he knew fully well he would be enslaved again. He went back and he was a chef for Thomas Jefferson. He became the chef at the White House. and he cooked some amazing meals that united the country, because Jefferson and Madison, they had a falling out and they needed to be united. And it is James Hemming that cooked the meal. I think the story says he cooked chicken roulade. And that was such a great meal that it brought the two kingpins together. Thomas Jefferson's slave, James Hemming, is the one who brought mac and cheese and French cuisine to the United States. He was a chef at the White House. He cooked at Monticello. He cooked at the White House. And he continued, and he worked as a slave, but did demand his freedom. And there's a sad part to the story. Jefferson kept him on and did give him his freedom, because Jefferson refused to pay him, even though he was paid in Paris. James Hemming was a free man for 3 years. And the end of the story is, or his story, he committed suicide. Maybe freedom wasn't meant for him. I don't know the rest of the story. It's hard to find stories about James Hemming. He's completely hidden from history. I just unearthed his story looking into Thomas Jefferson. There's a new book out about Jefferson called Thomas Jefferson on Race. It's a great book. I just got it. I recommend it to people because, I don't criticize, Kurt. One of the things I share with you is I don't blame people in the past for what they did, because they were living in a different time. Thomas Jefferson was a brilliant man living in a different time. He was a slave owner, but that was the order of the day. I'm not going to condemn him for that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show some of the benefits that came, not necessarily from slavery, but from James Hemming's association with Thomas Jefferson and being able to travel to Europe and become a free man and then come back to the States. And I think, to me, that's a fascinating story that most people don't know anything about.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. And wow, mac and cheese will never be the same again. And that's why I mentioned I'm from Wisconsin, because people know us as cheeseheads and all that kind of stuff. So
I got
this
it. I
really
picked it up when you threw it in there. I got it.
I just want to make sure everybody out there watching, listening to this video don't miss that, because yeah, you really hit close to home for me with that, and my family's gonna love it. My wife and daughter, they love their mac and cheese, so I'll have to
Show
make
me
sure to get
somebody who
this.
doesn't love mac and cheese.
I know it. I know it. It's
But the
somebody who's
point, the
really
point
health
is,
conscious.
the point is, Kurt, everything is connected.
Yeah.
Our food is connected to our history, and all this nonsense about American Indian history and Black history and this history is history, and history should unite us. It shouldn't divide us. One of the things I do when I speak is I explain how I arrived at doing what I'm doing. And it's simple. 8 years in the Air Force, 30 years in the airline business, and playing my crazy sports. So when I traveled, I not only traveled for work, but I was allowed to connect, playing table tennis, playing cricket. And I have friendships with people all over the world. Some friendships are 40 years old. I was telling a story just yesterday. One of the lasting memories I had, and it's probably not the most proudest moment of my life, but it's driving through the German countryside with my friend who was he was a 6'5" German, and we're a little bit, few sheets in the wind, and we're singing Hank Williams, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, driving through the German countryside at 3 in the morning. Now, if that isn't cultural understanding, I don't know what else is. But the point I'm making is I have great connections and I made great connections, but I also saw way too much division. And I wondered why. And I'm also an aircraft engineer. And in aircraft engineering, we apply a root cause analysis to what is chronic issues, not just to fix them, but to see if we can't prevent recurrence. When I applied root cause analysis to what was being taught, that's when I realized that history is designed to divide. So I set out to highlight the people omitted, to see if I can't replace ignorance with curiosity, diminish unconscious bias, and create an environment where talent and character will supersede appearance every time. And that's what I'm doing now. My first book is called America Should Be Grateful to Haiti. You know that. And now I have 6 books written for kids between 11 and 17 because I am excited to bring my message to the younger generation. I've been speaking to adults for over 5 years, and I've just embarked on bringing this message to the younger generation because my research and my friends tell me our kids need help. But what they're hearing in the media, what they're getting from social media, the way these apps can keep them scrolling, they need an invitation to critical thinking. And that's what I'm presenting. And Kurt, I want to tell you about a new event I'm having once a month. Once a month, I'm going to host a free workshop where you get to delve into my knowledge and current understanding and have a different perspective about history. My first show is going to be, well, I shouldn't say show, my first event is going to be June 30th at 6:30. And I'm going to publicize it. There's going to be, when this podcast goes out, a note and a document will be below this podcast so people can sign up and join me on my monthly workshop.
All right, so that's Tuesday, June 30th at oh, what's that?
6:30
Six
Eastern.
6:30 Eastern on Tuesday, June 30th. Sounds like a great event. So we'll see through everybody reaching through this show how we can share that invite and through all of my reaches with the World Ability Podcast Network and through our friends at the No More 9 to 5 Club. Hey, you want to give a little shout out there, Roger, to our friends at the No More 9 to 5 Club and anything?
Absolutely, Kurt. You know,
Yeah,
that's my go to group. Those are
yeah.
my guys. And I want to invite people to the No More 9 to 5 Summit, which starts tomorrow. You got to get in there. My girl, Alyssa Backer, she's going to be sharing tomorrow. This No More 9 to 5 group is a fantastic group of successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share their knowledge and expertise with people who are trying to get out of the grind and into a successful entrepreneur career. The No More 9 to 5 Club is one of the best networking groups that I know. Both Kurt and I met there, and I have so much collaboration from the No More 9 to 5 Club with Maury and Mind Trainer Pro and Jason and Willard. It's an amazing group. And of course, the ladies, Alyssa, Wendy. I mean, there's too numerous to mention, but that's my favorite group to network with.
Yeah, absolutely. I was on a phone call previous to coming on to produce this, video and show, and I was telling the gentleman that I was on our business call with about the Number 9 to 5 Club, and about Jason and coming to all of us through Jason reviewing our project and everything. So yeah, that's how it all does it. So yeah, it's unifying force, this networking thing and collaborating and masterminding and all the stuff and all this podcasting business, to kind of have all these messages available. So folks out there, I propose that the sequel to History That Unites is Your Future That Provides, which means that Roger comes here to tell these stories and to make his points. But now it's about what you do with what we shared here right now. Roger, I know you expect that this would inspire and give new inclinations for us. I know that as you're sharing your work with me, it's making a difference in my days. So thanks for what you do, Roger. And you want to speak to that a little bit more of your purpose in doing
My
this?
purpose is to show people that we are much more similar than we're different. If you talk to any doctor, our skin color and hair texture is based on our proximity to the sun. That's it. We are much more similar than different. And in my stories, what I show is that strategic adaptability, resilience, focus, These are traits that have existed in every race, creed, or culture since the beginning of time. Nobody has a monopoly on intelligence and leadership. Some of it has just been hidden from us. And my job is to bring out what was hidden, to show you that we are much more similar than different. And while we're at it, I want to mention Haitian Orphans Wishes, which is behind Kirk's right ear. That's an organization of friends of mine started from Long Island, and they're Haitians. They're very successful Haitians, and they sponsor a school in Haiti that provides educational and vocational training to orphans in Haiti, and there are a lot of those. So this is my go-to charity, Haitians Orphans Wishes. I invite people to support them, look them up, Google them, support them. They're a fantastic organization, and Haiti still needs a lot of help.
That is for sure. It's always good when we can serve a greater purpose and pay it forward and, give goodwill out there to keep this unity going. And, who better than to bring into unity and, give opportunities to, but orphans, for sure, orphans in Haiti. And so let's all do that together, folks. I learned about it through Roger, and what a great opportunity. If you have any questions for me in my role here with doing this show with Roger and our World Ability Podcast Network side of things, you can call me at 262-372-1754 or just send off a text if you prefer that. You can always email me, Kurt, Kurt, at spiritofthegame.org. Roger, how do they reach you if they find it fascinating, everything you're doing, and with your event on the 30th? How do they reach you?
My email is rogerprasad@gmail.com. I have a Calendly link. You can book time with me, calendly.com/Roger Persaud. My phone number is also, I'll give my phone number, 651-274-9226. And I'm going to have stuff below the podcast. Once the podcast is published, I will have stuff that I can attach to it that'll invite people to my monthly 90-minute workshop. You just come in and learn about history. It's free. It's all my knowledge poured out. And I guarantee you it'll be edutainment. You'll be educated while being entertained.
There you go. That's what it's all about. So, folks, we're going to keep this series going. This is History That Unites. Roger's going to come in with more stories, more insights on history and this whole aspect of how it helps us unite. So, thanks for being in this huddle and watching, listening to with us, and being a part of our fan base. And please do share this video with others that you know. And if you would be so inclined, feel free to share it out on your social media, and let's keep doing this together. Again, this is History That Unites. I'm Kurt Roskoff here with Roger Persaud. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Kurt. That was fantastic.